Hello today, and today we're going to be having a look on eBay and checking out the prices for Commodore 64s. May do 1-8s as well. I recently did a video on the Amstrad CPC line, just having a look at the prices on eBay, you know, because I did a video the other day talking about original hardware or emulators. Because people that use emulators sometimes get a hard time with the people that always use original hardware, saying, oh, you shouldn't be using emulators, oh, emulators are rubbish and all that. Well, if you've got limited amount of money and no space, emulators is the way to go. And as I said, retro computers are getting expensive, so we're going to take a look at Commodore 64s. So let's whittle it down a bit, so we just put it on buy it now, and we'll just go from highest price to lowest price, otherwise we'll be here all day. So straight away you can see what I mean. Commodore 64 console, that really gets up my nose. That really makes my blood boil when they refer to a Commodore 64 as a games console. No, it's not a console. Please correct that. It should be called a computer, because that's what they are, not a console. Well, maybe the new ones are. Well, I'll even give them the time of day, to be honest with you. Let's get on with it. £588.99 from Germany. And what do you get? Model G. I never knew there was a Model G. Maybe it's a Model G referring to Germany. That's what it could be. Obviously being German. Power supply. Mint condition. On your bike, mate. That's all I can say. Might come from Germany, but I still wouldn't even pay that price, even if it was in the UK. Large collection of Spectrum. Oh, that's just a collection of computers by the looks of it. 450 quid for a collection of computers. Depends if they work. Nah, forget that. 399 for 395 for an invisible Commodore 64 bundle. No, thank you. Commodore 64 music expansion system disc. 375 quid. No, thank you. Whatever that is. I'm not talking about new add-ons. Box Commodore 64 bundle with 100 plus games tested working. 300 quid plus 15 postage and packing. No. What's that? I don't know what that is. Joystick keyboard modded. If it's modded, I don't want to know. I'm talking about the retro stuff here. Rare vintage Commodore 64 Mark 1, so that is the original bread bin model. They're asking 250 quid for it, plus £30 shipping rather, postage. Perhaps collectors might consider it being an original, because collectors will probably go more for the Commodore 64 bread bin model than the C version. If you're willing to pay 250 quid for it, well, that's up to you. Rare vintage. How is it vintage? It's not vintage. I wouldn't class something that's 30 years old, or probably, well, that's a C model, so it must be that. I think they come out in 86, didn't they, or 88? Well, I don't class 30 years as being vintage. Retro, yeah. 200 quid just for the computer? No, I'm not going to look at cartridges, games. 200 quid. Oh, bundle vintage. Stop calling it vintage. What's this? Commodore 64 G model from Hungary. 175 quid. That's now Commodore 64 tape deck, 2 disk drives times 2 Commodore 64s. Well, if you get times 2, is that 2 disk drives are 2 Commodore 64s. If it's 2 Commodore 64s, 200 quid. I ain't got a buy it now option, so that's obviously for auction. I'm sure I put to auction, but I don't know. That's the pack I had back in the day. I actually got that pack now. 175 quid. Well, I think I only paid 120 or 130 quid for it back in 1991, brand new. Yeah, so you can tell they're going up in price. As I was saying, retro is getting expensive. I don't know how much I sold mine for, but I must have only sold it for about 50 quid back in the mid 90s sometime. You never know, I might find my old Commodore 64 on eBay. Perhaps that's it. No. Another one here. 179, 180 quid. Once again, Night Moves packs. This is probably the packs that's going to be more popular, probably more available, because they were the last of the Commodore 64s, and it was the Night Move pack. 165 quid. I mean, feel free to comment. Would you pay any of these prices for it? I suppose if you're an enthusiastic, you probably would. But you'd probably go for the bread bin model. What's this? Zeus 64 assembler. 180 quid. 174 pounds. This is 155 with Jiffy DOS floppy disk drive. Comes with a floppy disk drive, so 169 pounds. You get quite a few games here. TV leads, set box, yeah. Set box. Oh, set box Terminators. Okay, when did that version? I haven't seen that one. Australia. Oh, here we go. Commodore 64 computer, 150 quid. Games, 156 quid. Bread bin model, ooh, 145 quid. Get some good games there. Now looks like it's been modified. Don't know if I would not pay 125 quid for it though. If you only get the keyboard and nothing else, it's important you get a power supply unit with it at least. On its own, it's not worth 125 quid. Plus £27 postage from Hungary, as I said. £149. The Olympic pack. £149. Lots of genuine games. Okay. 150s in the reasonable sort of area, I guess. If it comes with a lot of stuff. 64G, only obviously a rare European model, maybe German model. 140 quid. See, I wouldn't touch them. I wouldn't touch, unless it's in the UK, I wouldn't touch it. But that's only my personal opinion. Commodore 64 bread bin. So that's in nice, looks in quite neat condition for 140 quid. Getting a, I don't know, with all chips included. Include what? Well, I should hope they include all the chips. I don't know. I wouldn't buy that. That's been modified. 125 quid from Poland. A disk drive from France, 130 quid. I know they were quite expensive back in the day, almost costing the same as the Commodore 64 itself. There we go, 130 quid. It's getting more reasonable now. You get, I think you get everything. Yeah, getting more reasonable. Commodore 64, 3 months warranty, options available. Right, 110. Here we go. Now we're getting more. But building. This is a Polish model, I think. Poland Poland, we're not interested. Box, oh, stop calling it a console. 119.99, 120. Commodore 6 working only number 4. I've seen that before. 110 includes disk drive games, so that's probably more reasonable. You get quite a lot of stuff with it. Very reasonable. Terminator Judgment Day box. Now we're getting cheaper. I don't know what all this is. I want to know. Let's have a look at the next page. 100 quid with a dot matrix printer. Job lot. Yes, that's pretty reasonable. 100 quid. Probably how much I would honestly pay personally for a Commodore 64, or basically any computer. Commodore 64 bread bin, Fanta keys in Germany. Clean and working set. But it's a German. If it's a German model, okay, the price is good, being a bread bin model. But if it's a German model, no, I'm not interested. Or any foreign model in that case. Commodore 64, all socketed chips, easy testing, reload, another Hungary. Alright, night moves by £100 or just £99. Yeah, I suppose that's reasonable. Then you've got to look at postage, and I suppose that's not bad considering what it involves. £100 for a bread bin. Yeah, £100. This bin looks like keys have been swapped about with an original SID chip. £89. There's one cellophaned here, £90. Commodore 64 personal computer system, a 1987 model, almost £100. Games. Bundle box, £89. 85, 74. 6-month warranty was reasonable, was pretty good. 75 quid. So at least that's not bad. 75 quid. Bunch of joysticks. Suppose that's not bad. When we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, them joysticks are rubbish. Those cheater annihilators they come with the Commodore 64 now are absolutely rubbish. But I think we're getting games now. I think we've come to the end. Oh, here we go. It's a bit dodgy, that one. But 54 quid. Light gun. As I said, light guns are useless unless you've got a CRT TV or monitor. But I think we're getting to the games now. We ain't going to continue. But yes, you could, if you shop around, have a price in mind of how much you want to pay for a Commodore 64. I'm sure you might pick up a good deal. You know, just make sure it works. Because unless you've got to really know what you're doing to fix these things. If you don't, then it's not worth buying. Right, let's have a look at the Commodore 128. See how much these go for. I'm expecting to be quite expensive because they were a rarer computer. Didn't sell as many. Yeah, as I expect. Hang on, let's oh, it's in the highest price. Well, 209 from Ireland. So you get the tower onto it. Excellent condition and working set. I suppose. Yes, you know, even I feel retro is getting expensive. Probably people will be willing to pay that for it if it's working. I know it's 30 quid postage. Let's have a look. I think that's the only one. Power supply unit, 48 quid. Disk drives, Commodore 64. Is that all you're going to get? Let's have a look at auction. Perhaps there might be some. There we go. Yeah. So we've got some on the auction here. 260, no bids. What's that? It's 101 to 8D. And 251, 17 bids, so they're quite, I suppose, 105, 23 bids, 86, no bids. Well, we're not looking at the Amiga, not yet anyway. Yeah, so that's it, probably not a lot for sale. Once again, just shop around, see what you can find, and make sure it works. Anyway, I'm going to end this now. Thank you so much for watching. Till next time, and goodbye.